Fantasy, fantasy, madmen. Fantasy, fantasy, madmen. Fantasy, fantasy, madmen. Fantasy football infotainment. Fantasy, fantasy, madmen. Fantasy, fantasy, madmen. Fantasy, fantasy, madmen. Fantasy football infotainment. Fantasy football infotainment. Fantasy madmen.
Hi, my name is Chris Rios,
I'm Mickey Shafruzi.
and we
are the Fantasy Madmen.
Welcome to a Week 16 championship edition of Fantasy Madmen. So all those that made the championship game,
Hey, kudos to you.
all those that didn't,
There's always next year.
let's get right into it with the rapid-fire waiver wire pickups for Week 16.
This your last chance, people. Make it count. Why don't you start it off, Chris?
I'm going to go with Andre Caldwell.
Okay.
Wide receiver for the Denver Broncos, caught 2 touchdowns and led the team in targets against San Diego. If Welker doesn't play, this guy is a solid flex option for your championship game.
If you ain't got him, get him. Because I got him, and I'm winning. So get him. True. I'm going to follow it up with another wide receiver. Jared, I went there. Jared Boykins, Green Bay, he had 6 catches for 83 yards. Matt Flynn is finally starting to round into his own, and he's really looking at Jared for some help on first down. So if you need some help at the wide receiver, if you're unsure, if you had Victor Cruz, who got a concussion this week, he may be out going forward. He's a great plug-and-play going forward. It's the championship game. Hello. If you ain't got him, get him.
I'm going to go with Delaney Walker, tight end for the Tennessee Titans. Had 8 catches and a touchdown last week, and he plays Jacksonville next week in the championship week.
Hey, that's no cakewalk anymore.
If you ain't got him, get him.
I'm going to follow up with another wide receiver, Robert Woods for Buffalo. I mean, this guy's been injured. He's had inconsistent play at the quarterback. Now, finally, Emmanuel is healthy. Robert Woods is healthy. And you kind of saw it this weekend. The man had 5 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown. I believe that this is a great, again, plug and play if you need help at the wide receiver. It's the championship. If you ain't got him, get him. People, it's not rocket science. If you ain't got him, get him because you need him. So get him.
And that's a Fantasy Madmen rapid-fire waiver wire pickups for Week 16. Now, these are some big names
Who will turn out to be big lames.
in Week 16.
Are you kidding me? Bench him.
I'm going to start off with Larry Fitzgerald,
Yeah.
wide receiver for Arizona. He's going against Seattle. Seattle's secondary shuts this guy down every time they play. He only had 2 catches for 17 yards early in the season when they played.
Fair to say, Seattle shuts everybody down.
Don't start him, bench him.
I'm going to go with the whole Bengals defense. Their whole defense against Minnesota. Matt Castle's playing lights out, and the Bengals are moving in the wrong direction while Minnesota's moving in the right direction. So bench the whole Bengals defense. What? I know. Bench him.
I'm going to go Pierre Thomas, running back for the New Orleans Saints. He's been solid all year,
Yeah.
but he has a tough matchup going against the Panthers. He didn't do too well against them last time.
And that's a rivalry game anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime it's rivalry week, you know it's going to be some banging.
Bench him.
I'm going to go with Bobby Rainey. I know this guy's been great since he got in. He's been lighting it up, receiving and catching. But I just believe going against St. Louis Rams, the way they shut down New Orleans, and they handled very good Darren Sproles, who Bobby Rainey's kind of in the mold of. So if they can shut down Darren Sproles in New Orleans, I believe St. Louis can shut down Tampa Bay. Hey, why don't you do me a favor? Grab a big glass of Bencham. Then after that, go to the store and buy some Bencham. Hey, and pick me up a small 6-pack of Bencham.
And those are the big names
Who's going to turn out to be big lames?
in Week 16. Now, these are the Fantasy Madmen must-starts for Week 16.
I'm going to jump right in with Ed Lacy, running back Green Bay. I mean, this guy's playing lights out. It don't matter if Aaron Rodgers coming back because he's not. Let go, people. Let go. This guy is running over everybody, as the Cowboys can attest to. He's a must-start going forward.
You have to play Steady Eddie.
Oh my God, Steady Eddie. Give me that.
You like that?
Jackpot. Steady Eddie, must-start.
I'm going to go with Keenan Allen. I don't have a cool nickname for him, but
okay.
wide receiver for the San Diego Chargers. This Rookie of the Year candidate has been money all year for fantasy owners. I told everyone about Allen,
Yes, you did.
Allen
Yes, you
earlier
did.
this season, and this guy is almost matchup-proof now.
Jackpot. Did you see him hurdle that defender and then bully his way in for a touchdown?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Did you see that catch on 2 defenders? Must start.
Start him.
I'm going with Danny Amendola, wide receiver in New England. He had 10 catches for 131 yards. I mean, he was ranked 31st going into the matchup with Miami, and he extremely outproduced that ranking. With no Gronk, he's a must start for the rest of the season. Championship. Can't be scared. Must start.
Must start.
If you ain't going to stop him, drop him and get someone else. That's a must start.
Those are the Fantasy Madmen must starts for Week 16.
This is a segment where we take a look back at the playoff disappointments in Week 15. So disappointing. So who disappointed you this week, Chris?
The entire Denver Broncos offense. Anyone who played Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, Julius Thomas, Noshawn Moreno can back me up on this. Even Peyton Manning had just an average day.
Yeah, and I have him.
Fantasy owners have been relying on these guys all season, but they didn't deliver when it really mattered. The fantasy playoffs.
Shame, shame, shame. I'm going to follow up with Charles Clay. I told everybody last week to play him. I apologize. He had a great matchup against the linebackers against New England, and they struggle in pass coverage. And the guy had 1 catch for 6 yards. Completely disappointing. And I don't know who disappointed me more, him or Antoine Bolden. Antoine Bolden is now taking a back seat to Vernon Davis and Michael Crabtree, and the man had 4 catches for 40-plus yards. I mean, come on. They brought you in to bring the heart of a champion, not a heart of a bystander. Shame on you, Antoine. Shame, shame. And those are our Week 15 disappointments. You're a disappointment, man. Ask your parents. You're a disappointment. This is a segment we want to take a moment to acknowledge the 2 teams fighting for the championship in the Fantasy Madmen Fantasy Football League.
Championship.
And neither of them are us.
No, neither are us.
I give a shout out to Larry, who beat me this week by 6 points. I mean, I left a lot of points on the bench.
He beat me before he beat you.
Yeah, so he knocked us both out. He knocked both Fantasy Madmen out. So
kudos to you, Larry.
Congratulations. Good luck in the championship.
And I want to big up Mike D. Smacked you up. That's the name of his team. Michael DeCillian, a New York native. It pains me to acknowledge a New Yorker, but great season, great team. You were the top team most of the season. It came down to the 2 top teams. We acknowledge you and salute you guys, and good luck. Can't wait to beat you next year.
And thank you both for participating in the first ever Fantasy Madmen Football League. If anybody else wants to join the league next year, send us an email.
Please.
fantasymadmen@gmail.com.
The winner will be getting a shirt and some cash.
Good luck in the championship game.
Championship. Bring it down now. I'm in it. Oh, I'm in it. I'm going to follow with Damian Amendola, wide receiver, New Orleans. I'm sorry. Bench him. Bench him. What? Hello. Bench him. Hey, why don't you do me a favor? Grab a big glass of bench him. Then after that, go to the store and buy some bench him. Hey, pick me up a small 6-pack of bench him. I was just thinking, bench him. No, really, I'm not playing. Bench him. Well, I did, and I'm in the championship. Bench him. What you say, lady? Tell them again. We are the Fantasy Madmen, and this is Layla Peruzzi, and this is our championship edition for Week 16. What? I know. Bench him.